First, we took 4 readings. Number 1, the maximum force of the electromagnet only. Number 2, the maximum force of the permanent magnet only. Number 3, the maximum force in the amplified mode. Number 4, the resistance in the neutralization mode. The formula for the net maximum force is maximum force in amplified mode minus the resistance in neutralization mode equals the net maximum force. The formula for the percent of power produced from electricity is the maximum force of the electromagnet only divided by the net maximum force times 100 equals the total percentage of the power produced by electricity. The formula for the percent of power produced from magnetic amplification and neutralization is 100 minus the percent of power produced by electricity equals the percentage of power produced by magnetic amplification and neutralization. The formula for the amplification factor is the maximum force in amplified mode divided by the combined forces of the permanent magnet only and the electromagnet only. Here we have the results of the test for the prototype motor at 18 volts. Electric motors run on magnetism. Magnetism that's produced entirely by electricity. Electricity running through copper wire wound around low-carbon steel. It's better known as an electromagnet. At 18 volts, this motor gets 95.31% of its energy from permanent magnets. The electromagnets are only used as a switch to turn on and off the magnetism emitted from the permanent magnets and contributes only 4.69% of the energy on which the motor operates. While in the amplified mode at 18 volts, the force of the permanent magnet at the face of the electromagnet is amplified 2.9 times. The higher the voltage, the less percentage of energy comes from the permanent magnets, and the more that comes from electricity. With the proper combination of permanent and electromagnets, I feel great savings could be made on energy. In today's world, early 2009, there's lots of talk about saving energy, electric cars, etc. What if someone installed a motor into an automobile using this technology? What would be the savings? I've heard and read that an electric car gets about 45, now that's 45 miles per single charge of the batteries. If that's so, based on my test results of this technology, I feel that could be increased to as much as 959 miles per single charge. Now that's 45 miles divided by 4.69% times 100 would equal 959.49 miles. Like with a gas-operated vehicle, it would depend just how heavy one's foot is. Let's say with a heavy foot the efficiency dropped to 50%. That's still 479.7 miles per single charge. I believe with magnetic amplification and neutralization, this is possible. Let's consider the other forms of energy used in producing electricity. For every 100 tons of coal currently used, with magnetic amplification and neutralization, that could drop to 4.69 tons. For every 100 barrels of oil currently used, with magnetic amplification and neutralization, that could drop to 4.69 barrels. For every $100 we now spend producing electricity, we could do it for $4.69. Now the permanent magnet just sits there, strong, lots of energy, stays charged, never runs down. You're not waiting on the wind to blow or the sun to shine. Actually, the 4.69% of the electricity needed could probably be supplied by the wind or the sun. You know the old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words? Then I guess a video's worth 10,000 words. The best way I know to describe what you've just seen is in this way. From a young child, I'd heard of the Grand Canyon. Now it sounded really nice. Then I saw some pictures that really looked nice. But that was a long trip from Southwest Virginia and quite frankly beyond my means. When I saw a video of the Grand Canyon, now that made me really want to go see for myself. Well, about 40 years later I did. I'll never forget the first time I stood on the rim of that canyon, looking at that awesome piece of real estate God made. Suddenly I understood why they called it grand. I just stood there in silence. Finally I said, there's no way the pictures I've seen, not even the videos, could capture this awesome beauty. Working on this project, I've often compared it to my first visit to the Grand Canyon. You have to be there. You have to see it in person. Words, pictures, and video just can't fully describe it, can't give you that feeling. You have to see it with your own eyes and feel the effects of this magnetism to really understand it. What I've demonstrated to you in this video, a prototype motor, along with some object lesson demonstrations, could be antique in just a few years.